Hey everyone, Mac is back. Today we're going to continue with the Commander series and go with Marge, Sinara, and Simon. A few interesting commanders, some with some more relevancy than others, so let's get to it. First commander we're going to talk about today is Margaery Tyrell. Probably one of the fan favorites because she's kind of deceiving, but at the same time she's also interesting usefulness in this game, which is very good. So the first thing that we want to talk about is the rebel leaders, and for rebel leaders she's actually decent when it comes to tanking. When you have her at a low quality, you know, if she's only like gray or maybe even blue, she's very good against a spear and cav as a tank for that front line, depending on the commanders you have. But early in the game, if you're a low or medium spender, that just unlocking her to gray is pretty good. You know, getting her to blue, as you can see how I have an upgrader because she's very expensive. It's like 200 black diamonds just for 5 metals. So and you can there's cheaper ways to get it than just the in a pack, but yeah, I would tend to say that she's actually very good for that in that respect. However, when you get into the mid to later stages of the game, she's a lot less effective because there are other commanders that are better. And the reason that she is good is because she has that damage reduction for her skill, and she also every 2 attacks, 3 random allies recover 200 might, so that's really good. Also, when it comes to the army, she has total health and total attack, so if you do spend up and get her to fully 15% total attack and 15% total health, that's actually pretty good. But it's, again, that's more for that early game, not for that middle game, because once you get to the mid to late stages, these small amounts of attack and health are not really going to help you too much. There'll be other commanders with better abilities, and the one reason that she's not so good in the army is because for fighting is because she doesn't have any awakening quite yet. So maybe when she does get awakened, if her ability is really good, then she might be worth upgrading. I have a feeling that since she is as expensive as she is, she's going to have a pretty good 4-star ability, which will kind of push us to want to increase her, especially since she's female and you can pair her with like an all-female lineup and then Layla, so could be a good combination there as well. So let's go to the training grounds. And I didn't mean the training grounds, I meant the tavern, as obviously that's where we are. And as you can see, she has a lot of aptitude, finance, and a little bit of command, so not really that great in here. She does take jewelry, however, and there aren't too many commanders that actually take jewelry, depending on, obviously, actually there just really aren't that many that you're going to be, so you're going to max her out probably fairly quickly, especially you can see here I have her 30, or level 30, so just a little bit of help here, but she's not really that great in this area. And when it comes to the training ground, she's a 5-star almost all the time, no matter what quality you have her. And the reason I say that is you don't have to use her in every formation, but she does this damage reduction for 7 seconds for all your allies when she gets her skill off, and even at the very beginning of the battle she grants 8,421 point damage reduction to all allies for 15 seconds at the beginning. And that 15 seconds means almost nothing because you're going to lose that damage reduction. Well, actually maybe for the back line, I guess, because if they don't get hit at all, then they could work. But there's so much damage in training grounds nowadays that even 8,421, and this is at blue quality, so if you max her out, she's probably looking at, you know, maybe that doubles, maybe you get 15,000, something like that. It's probably not too bad. Or I'm sorry, it is really good, not too bad, it's really good. And then every 2 attacks with 3 random allies granting 200 might is very good too, since I just talked about that. So she's helping increase your other commander. She's a very good support commander, and she does 450 to strategy, which is really good also. And she has a decently high health, so that's pretty good. To be able to tank her if you want to throw her in the front line for whatever reason. Usually you want to have her in the back line, but sometimes you do want to put her in that front line, maybe have Simon in there to heal as well. Kind of a good little combination. And then looking here at the skill we talked about, that grants 18,000 point reduction to all allies for 7 seconds. That's really good. Like I said, that's when you're getting into the training grounds to have an 18,000 reduction occasionally for 7 seconds is very, very good. So overall, Marge is someone that is very useful. She's not very good in PvP, but for some of the to help upgrade your account and to get diamonds and whatnot, she's good for that. Next on our list is Sinara. And as for rebel leaders, she'll be a staple in your against the spear rebel leaders, her counter, because or ones that she counter, I should say, because she is a damage dealer, single attack target. She does 7. I have her a very low blue quality, and that's just more out of, I guess, I don't want to say my laziness, but in a sense, I've taken priority for other commanders at this point. Just because for other, well, she's not awakened, it's one of the main reasons, but also she does 7,000 damage, which is really good. Her skill here is 3 attacks in quick succession, dealing about 3,000 for each attack, so that's 9,000 damage, which for overall for a high attack commander, that's not really that good. Most of them are looking at a 15,000 to 20-some thousand damage, but the one thing that she also does here that's just really good here is it adds 2,500 to attack for 5 seconds whenever an enemy uses an active skill. It can stack up to 3 times. So if your enemy, if you're using the skills, and of course in the against rebel leaders, all your commanders are going to be popping their skills so fast. So every 5 seconds you're going to get this extra 7,500 damage that stacks on top of what you're already doing 7,000. So that's why she's so good. And if, like I said, if you have her, I have her blue quality, so there's all these stats go up, all these green stats here, as you can see, go up. So attacks reduce the defense of the enemy, so then you're doing more damage that way. And then her base attack is also going up by 2,500, so now she's doing 9,500 base damage. So very, very good when it comes to rebel leaders. When it comes to the armies, she's a pure infantry. I'll say pure infantry. She has 2 infantry. She has the defense and the health for a front line, which is what you want, and she has the total attack. So she's buffing all 3 lines or 2 lines depending on what you're doing. So in that regard, she's very, very good when it comes to military, because if you have her maxed out, it'll be 30% for both of these for the defense, infantry defense, and health, and then at 15% of the total attack, which is really good. So that's always something to consider. She's not awakened yet, so since she's not awakened, she's probably not going to be one that's a staple in your lineup for unless it's a pure infantry lineup, then maybe you're going to be doing that. But just of course, she has to be a gold as well. But I would not have her in any of my lineups except for maybe. Well, I have her too low quality, percentage right now anyway. I have to increase that. So let's head into the tavern. And in the tavern, she does have combat rate, so she's one you're going to want to increase. And this is where I kind of regret a little bit not having her at a higher quality. As you can see, I have her maxed out already at the blue quality. She does take desserts, and desserts, I can't emphasize that enough. You just have to know how to distribute your desserts throughout your commanders in the tavern, just because there's so many. I mean, there's maybe, I don't know, there's 15 or so that actually take dessert, and so you're gonna be very, very low, and you're gonna use it up very quickly, I should say. So just be careful with that and be able to pick the right commanders to do so. And when it comes to the training grounds, she's actually very good in there as well. Again, another damage dealer that you're going to want to put in the back row. Never put her in the front row. Even if you have her maxed out, she's not going to be that good in the front row. There are some formations of where you for an attacking that you might put her in the front row if you have like Margaery and Simon in there to protect her, to be able to get her some of her her hits off instead. However, she doesn't have enough health or defense to really be able to take damage. So if you do that, she's going to die fairly quickly. When it comes to her skills, we talked about that first one actually, which is an okay skill. It's not game breaking or anything. Her really good skill is the second one, just because it stacks up and lasts for 5 seconds. And so like every 5 seconds, this is going to be coming off, procking off. So she'll be very good in that respect. And then the defense here, which actually reduces the enemy defense, which actually is a damage increase because you're doing more damage because their defense is less. And then of that base attack increasing is very, very good as well. So she has a lot of good interesting qualities to her. Hopefully when she gets awakened, she'll be something that'll be worth adding into one of your lineups. And lastly, in this trio of commanders, we're going to go to Simon Blackmire. And Simon is one commander that was added after Sansa as a healer. Sansa was the primary healer, and now Simon has taken over that role just because he has much better. He just has much better healing than Sansa does. He gets it off a lot faster than he does, or than she does. I apologize. For Rebel leaders, he's worthless. Rebel leaders, you're not going to want to be healing, other than, well, yeah, just you're not going to want to be healing it too much because he just heals too much, and you want some of your tanks to be able to take damage, so they, like for Enzo, where they increase the damage. So you're not going to want to do that. When it comes to fighting, he has a siege attack reduction of 50%. So that's not too bad, but it's not for fighting. That's more for defending. That's going to be for them when they attack your castle. He does have that total attack, though, of 15%. Still not going to be something you're going to want to be doing. And then there's other max defense troops of 100,000. He's someone you want to put on your wall for defense if you have him maxed out, which, since his medals are very difficult to get, and I don't prioritize them because he's not going to help me in attacking, and that's what I'm looking for in this game for myself, for the PvP aspect. Maybe if I get attacked, sure, I could be able to defend a little bit better, add more 100,000 troops if I'm at 12 million, which I am not. And then the siege attack reduction is very good, so that it's a 50% reduction, which is just massive. So if you do get attacked, that would be something, but I'd rather be either zeroed out and not tanking. That's for those tanking type castles. As for his awakening, he doesn't have that, so we're going to go straight to the tavern. And Simon in the tavern has some leadership, which I had previously mentioned, that is becoming more sought after than the combat rate, because it increases your army size and your rally size, and that's what we're kind of looking for in this game for fighting. Where combat rate, if you're facing a max account or an account that's over 2,000 more combat rate than you, then it doesn't really, bridging that gap is not really helping you anymore, where more troops actually would be helping you. So he's actually pretty good in here, so that's one reason why you'd want to upgrade him. And as for the training grounds, he's a staple in there. Like I said, that's basically where he took over for Sansa, and the reason that is because of his skills. You're going to want to have him in almost every single lineup, and I say about 99% of your lineups you're going to want him in there. And the only reason that you wouldn't want him in there is if you're facing a lineup that doesn't have a Margaery or a Simon. That's kind of just a little trick. So if someone decides to forego a healer and a damage reduction of like those two in the training grounds, then you're going to want to only put maybe Margaery in there and leave Simon out, because his healing is just not fast enough. No healer would be that fast enough for the amount of damage that's being done. So that's just a little, but the damage reduction that Margaery does actually is very effective. But looking at his skills, his main skill here is allies recover 3,700. All allies, recover. They have an army health every half a second for 2.5 seconds. So that's what, 5 times you're going to do that. So that's 17,000 health just on that one right there. And it's just, I want to say slow recovery. It's half a second, so it happens very quickly. And then you're looking at the Wisdom of Children, bestows health, 8,300 health per second for 3 seconds to 2 units. Triggers every 8 seconds. So if you 8 seconds into battle, you're going to start getting some health from that. Plus, this probably is going to proc as well. So both of these may be close to simultaneous. As defense, 5,586 defense for 3 seconds to all allies when enemies use their skills. So that's really good. And then some 50% to resistance, so it's resisting the damage. So again, this is why he's so much better than Sansa is, because Sansa just has that one. Well, I think she has 2 skills, but her main skill just is procs off once, and it takes a long time for her to do that. Where Simon has the passive skill here. These passive skills are actually very, very good for your entire as a support for the training grounds. So these skills are really, really, really good. So that's all we have for this go around. So until next time, Mac out.